Hey everybody, the Retwiral here, and welcome to my updated PSP game collection. Alright, I did the first one on I think I uploaded it the 11th of January, and I had a fair amount of games, considering it took me 20 minutes to get through the fucking things. So yeah, I had a fair amount. Now I've got even more, because I think back then, when I did that video, I only had a 64GB memory card. I could be wrong though, I'm not overly sure. But now I have a 256GB memory card, which is filled. Hence why I only have 5,000 gig. 5,000 gig? 5 gig left. Anyway, I know this is going to take fucking forever, so let's just get started. And also, something a friend suggested, which was to not explain every game, because that would take fucking ages. Just explain ones I'm familiar with, basically. Anyway, I should really have said, let's start with A! And there will be a few games that have already been on here, but still. But I'll skim over games that I'm not too familiar with. But, yeah, let's do this. Right. Holy shit, you're loud. Right, first up we've got Adventures to Go, which I don't honestly know what it's really about. I was going to play it one time, but then I never really got around to it. Next we have Alien Syndrome, which is kind of like a RPG shooter-ish? It's not a like FPS, it's third person, and it's quite weird. Every shooter that's on the PSP is incredibly weird to play, because it doesn't have a second analog stick, so aiming is a bitch. But then top-down ones, they tend to like implement using the buttons, so like square, circle, X, and triangle. Next we got Alien vs Predator Requiem, where you play as... I've only played like an hour of it, and so far I've been playing as Predator. You might play as the aliens later in the game, I'm not too sure. Alright, we have Ape Academy, which is actually pretty fucking fun. It's hard to actually... I would say it's like Mario Party, but it's not really. It's basically a game that's just filled with mini games, and it's awesome. Also, that guy, he is also, or who voices him, is also the voice of whatever his name is on Overlord. The gremlin that actually talks. Yeah, it's the same voice actor, which I was like, whoa, that's cool. And Ape Academy 2 is literally just a follow-on with more mini-games and more craziness. Ape Quest. This was an interesting take on the game, because it's like... it's basically Ape Academy, but an RPG sense. Like, you gain XP, you level up, you get abilities and all that. But in order to get XP and stuff, you do mini-games to get XP, to level up and all that. It's a really interesting game and pretty damn fun. And rather funny as well, so yeah, there's that. Next we got Armored Core Formula Front Extreme Battle. Welcome to the Formula Front. The future of a new type of AC warfare is set to begin. Next we have Army of Two 40th Day. As I was saying before, shooters on the PSP have completely different control schemes. This game's set as like a kind of top-down, and the way you shoot in the game is by using the buttons. So like X is to shoot down, or you face down and shoot, circle is to shoot right, triangle's to shoot up, and squares to shoot left. It sounds really weird, but if you played the game you'd understand it, I guess. Next we have Asphalt 2 Urban GT, which is probably the most basic looking game on the PSP, but it is still really, really fun. I actually had this game on the DS to begin with, and then I realised they actually had it on PSP, and I was like, I am getting that, because I sunk a lot of time into the DS version. People might say it's crap, but I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. Next we have Astonishing Story, which is... well, as you can say there, simple and easy to understand scenario and system will get people of all ages and both sexes to enjoy playing casual RPG games. So from that you can kind of gather that it's a casual RPG game. The combat in the game is similar to that of Ark the Lad, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. So, it's pretty cool. It's like turn-based, but like the way it's set out, I'd say it's like a cross between Ark the Lad or Ark the Lad directly, and then like Final Fantasy type. So it's like you can only move a set amount of squares, and once you've attacked once, then that's it until your next turn. Anyway, next we got Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I'm assuming is probably the same game that was on the 360. But I've not actually played the game on either console. I know on the Xbox, Avatar: The Last Airbender was pretty much what people used to get an instant 1000G because it was super fucking easy. Anyway, next we have the PS1 games, which is now completely different than before. And also, you'll notice it actually has art, all of which I made. Apart from the background, which is like that red creator crap stuff, I literally just searched Google and went like abstract image or abstract wallpaper, and I saw that. I was like, oh wow, that's awesome. But the icon for the game, which is like the PlayStation cover and whatever, I made that, and I made the box next to it that's got that's the information panel and everything. Took a long ass time because I had to do this for every PS1 game, and I have like over 100 or over 200 now. It took a long fucking time, but it was worth it in the end. Oh right, yeah. Okay, so I think what I'll do for the PS1 games is literally just read what's there. Oh yeah. This game's only first because it's actually alphabetical order. Once more, Edward Carnby is involved in a mysterious and supernatural investigation. A little girl named Grace Saunders has been kidnapped by One-Eyed Jack, the infamous gangster, and once more, Carnby is alone. Alone in the dark. Alright, and now we actually have the first game, which is Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare, and that was One-Eyed Jack's revenge. I didn't actually state that. My apologies. From the moment Edward Carnby and Aline Cedric, whatever, set foot on Shadow Island, they are confronted by mysterious evil creatures intent on thwarting their progress to recover 3 ancient tablets believed to hold the secret key to some incredible menacing phenomenon. I'm not going to read every bit of text there because I know later it starts to get very, very thorough. Next we've got Alundra. Plagued by strange visions, the dreamwalker Alundra is summoned to a troubled village where great evil lies in wait. Explore huge dungeons, find deadly weapons, solve challenging puzzles, and fight the cast of foul creatures out to stop you in your tracks. This vast and sprawling adventure will keep you wide awake to the very end. It is actually a fantastic game so far. Alundra 2, A New Legend Begins, is completely different than the first one, because it's actually like 3D graphics. The first one was like 3D surroundings, but the characters were 2D cartoons. Strange. Either way, you are Flint, a renegade swordsman on a quest to free a kingdom from the grip of a sinister ruler. Through a land of hidden danger, you wield your weapon, navigating an intricate story wrought with bizarre characters, brain-twisting puzzles, and wild games. Beware, an even greater evil is about to be revealed. Ooh. Next we've got Ark the Lad. First game in the series that could really redefined what a strategy RPG could be. Introduce players to a magical world teetering on the edge of destruction. Only young Ark possesses the power to stop the impending destruction as he fights his way to unsealing the power of the Ark with help from his friends Kukuru, Poco, Tosh, Gogan, and Iga. I think I started to play at the beginning of that game, but it kept freezing, so I had to get a different version of it, and it was really annoying. Ark the Lad 2. A bounty hunter with a tragic past, he must join forces with Ark to stop the minions of the Dark One, whose presence was only hinted at in the first game. Yada yada yada, more stuff about the game, and Ark the Lad 3 introduces a new lead character. Another new lead character. The Ark into a fully 3D world. Ooh. Join Alec as he continues Ark's heroic battle to save the world from the black advance of ultimate evil. So that's A, and it took 10 minutes. Holy shit. This is going to take a while. Next we have Bakugan, Defenders of the Core, Beta Rater. Oh yeah, which is literally just a game where you make music on it. It's quite fun. Blade Dancer, Lineage of Light, which I did have last time. The world of Lundia, where the prismatic moon glows. Lance, a young warrior, has travelled to Fu, seeking martial training. Discovers an awakened evil from the depths of history. The legend of Blade Dancer lives again. Next we have Blazing Soul, Accelerate, whatever, Bomberman, Bomberman Land, Bounty Hounds. They take on the dirty work. The regular army avoids and claim the rewards. Some are fugitives hiding from crime syndicates. Others are former soldiers discharged from being troublemakers. These mercenary units are full of men and women with a checkered past. The haughty members of the UGSF mobile troops call them the Bounty Hounds. Oh yes. Brandish the Dark Revenant, which is Japanese translated to English. It reminds me of like the as you can see from the little clips it shows there, it reminds me of like the old school like dungeon dwell games, whatever. Next we have Brave Story, New Traveller. Turn the tides of fate and save your best friend. Travel to the wondrous world of Vision and seek out the goddess of destiny, who is said to grant worthy adventurers a single wish. And yeah, I don't need to read the rest. With fully rendered 3D graphics, who cares? Breath of Fire 3, which I've actually been playing a lot recently. It's a great game with, again, a fantastic story. My RPGs, man, I fucking love them. Burnout Dominator. Burnout Legends. Basically, to cut it short, with Burnout games, you do races, but there's also challenges where you can, like, slam straight into traffic and cause a huge fucking traffic jam or whatever. While you're racing, you can take out your opponents and all that kind of jazzy stuff. It's really, really fun. Next we have Legacy of Kain. Oh, wait, sorry. Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain. And I am not reading all that shit. You're the vampire, Kain. Down to feast upon the blood of man. Steel yourself for an epic quest of vengeance that will drag you into the... Wait, what? That will drag you to the depths of depravity. Explore the vast world of Nosgoth. Over 100,000 screens of adventure and puzzle solving packed with 100+ hours of gameplay. Something tells me that's utter bullshit. But I don't know, I've not played the full game. It could be. PS1 games were rather lengthy, come to think of it. Anyway, next we got Breath of Fire 4. After centuries of war, the two lands bordering an impenetrable swampland have finally reached an... what? An armistice. Whatever. Mysteriously, the noble princess Elena disappears somewhere near the war-ravaged front lines. Distraught, her sister Nina goes in search of the princess alone, and on her journey meets a mysterious young warrior named Ryu, or Ryu. Ah dear. Every Breath of Fire game you have the same characters, the same two main characters, which is Nina and Ryu. You never have any other characters which are the same. Like Breath of Fire 1, you have like Bo, Kain? I can't remember his name, the thief. And then you've got like the goldfish guy, and then you've got the fuck, what was her name? The witch. But yeah, you've got them. In the second game, you've also got Nina, and then you've got Ryu. Ah dear. I forgot about this game. Yeah, we got Cake Mania Baker's Challenge. Don't judge. This game's not actually too bad. You're baking cakes for people that pop in. They like have like a little bubble above their head which says like what kind of cake they want, like what shape cake they want, what icing colour they want, and all that crap. And as you progress through the levels, you can get upgrades for certain things or buy new equipment for the bakery. It's actually not that bad, despite the front cover being incredibly girly. Anyway, next we have Call of Duty Roads to Victory, which, considering I'm not a Call of Duty fan, this game's actually fairly decent. With it being a shooter though, it's a very awkward control scheme. You aim, as in like look left, right, up and down, with the buttons, so like square, circle, triangle and X. It's awkward to get used to, but it does work. Next we have Capcom's Classic Collection, Reloaded, which is many of Capcom's arcade classics come together on the PSP system, including things like Street Fighter 2, and then Ghosts of Goblins, and Echo Fighters. I don't actually think I've played that. And then 19 more exciting games. And then it's got Reloaded. Oh no, Remixed, sorry. Which is probably the same games. Oh no, there are different ones. Anyway, we've got Castlevania, the Dracula X Chronicles, which is, I think, a remake of one of the Castlevania games put onto PSP. I don't fucking remember which though. My bad. Sorry. Ah, Chili Con Carnage. I love the intro. It's a weird game, this. I've not played it, but I've looked it up a lot, and it looks very fun. And rather bizarre. Well, like, look at the fucking cover. You've got a dude wielding 2 guitar cases that shoot bullets. Anyway, we've got Clayton. This is an RPG. Anyone can reach this place, yet it is connected to many different places. People call this world Arcanus Cellar. And then we've got Clayton X2, which is basically the same concept as that game, but with prettier graphics and a much more in-depth system, combat-wise and teammate-wise. But it's pretty cool. Next we have Class of Heroes, which is like the classic old-styley Might and Magic games where you've got like the character cards in like the sides of the screens, and then you do various things. I got a bit into it. Well, I say a bit. I made a character and then I stopped playing it. I didn't get bored, I just was like, ooh, I could play this, and then I went to play it and never played it again. It's gonna change. I'm going to play every one of these games one day or another. It's gonna take me years and years to do, but it's gonna be done, damn it. Anyway, we've got Class of Heroes 2 next, which is the same as the first, but I think they've got different races and probably prettier looking graphics again. Next we have Crash Mind Over Mutant, which is a fairly interesting Crash game. It's not the standard where like you play it and then you do the attack button and he does the spin. You actually do like kicks and punches. It's like an RPG Crash game, really. It's pretty cool. Crash of the Titans is the first one. Although you don't have to play this one very much in order to actually get access to a Titan. Titans are pretty badass. You just like jump onto their backs and then cause utter carnage with them. It's fun. Next we've got Crash Tag Team Racing, which is pretty cool. It's basically another Crash racing game. Although what you can do on this one is press a button, I don't remember which, I think it's triangle, and it makes your car go into like this weird kind of like ghost. It looks kind of ghostly, just because it's like see-through and kind of stuff like that. But what that allows you to do is merge with someone else on the track, and then what that allows you to do is either shoot at your opponents with whatever weapon that merged car may have, or drive, and then the computer will take over shooting. It's pretty cool. Next we've got Crimson Gem Saga, which, believe it or not, is actually Astonishia Story 2, but renamed because I think the company got bought out. But I don't know, it might just be completely different. But I do remember searching it, and it was pretty much people classed it as Astonishia Story 2. It was pretty cool. Next we got Crush, which is a game I don't know what I'd class it as. It's a 2D, 3D puzzle platformer kind of game. It's pretty cool. It's pretty weird, but it's pretty cool. You play as an insomniac, and what happens is like the levels are within his mind. It's to, I guess, I don't really know. It's to do with something. Next for the PSX we have Castlevania Chronicles. Count Dracula has been resurrected to begin a new reign of terror across the land. As Simon Belmont, descendant of legendary vampire hunters, you enter Dracula's estate to face the Count and his minions alone. Be prepared for one of the first adventures in the Castlevania series ever! And next we've got Castlevania Symphony of the Night. As a descendant of Dracula, you must end the vampire bloodline. Can you rid the world of this unspeakable terror? Uncover the mystery of Castlevania and challenge an adventure as legendary as its name. Over 140 different enemies. Fuck it, I'm not going to read that. Next we got Chrono Cross. Oh my goodness. I'm just reading through it. With multiple scenarios cast along a single story thread and many different endings, each replay. What the heck? What? That doesn't really explain anything. It's basically a continuation from Chrono Trigger, with new characters, and probably a different battle system. I also have Chrono Trigger, which is the PS1 remake, although it was only released in Japan, but it got translated. Thank Christ people can translate to English, because otherwise there'd be many different games that we'd miss out on because of shit like that, and that would suck. It's been hailed as one of the greatest games of all time. It probably still is one of the best games around, thinking about it. Games nowadays are shit. I mean, they're good, but they don't hold my attention anywhere near like they used to. Either that's because I'm getting older, or just because they're not as good. This is just my opinion. Feel free to be like, no, you're retarded. And I'll just be like, alright, fine. Next we got Clock Tower. Experience Scissorman's deadly shears at their raw, unedited best in this terrifying horror adventure. Feel the fear as you search for the most horrific serial killer known to man. Not played Clock Tower. Didn't know it was this fucking horror game until I downloaded it. Clock Tower 2, The Struggle Within. Features all the suspense and terror that kept you on the edge of your seat in the original, but this time with a twist. Alyssa Hale must learn to control her split personalities as she attempts to solve this horrifying mystery. Having been burned alive, she has arisen and is out for revenge. Armed only with multiple personalities, she is thirsty by blood. Wait, do you play as like the bad guy in that then? What? Next we got Crash Bandicoot. Enter the vivid 3D world of Crash Bandicoot, a marsupial on a mission. His brain's been scrambled, his girlfriend is held captive, and his arch nemesis has a big N on his forehead. And you thought you had it tough. Ah, lovely. This was the game that was corrupt last time I tried doing this, or last time I did this, because I had too many characters. Yeah, if you have like 32 characters for the name of the game, it's automatically corrupt because the PSP can only read 31 characters or below. It's quite weird that. Crash Bandicoot 2 is bigger, bolder, and better than its predecessor. The sequel to Crash Bandicoot features lush 3D environments, blah blah blah. Oh, brand new enemies and characters like Komodo Joe and Mo, Tiny, Engine, and Crash's younger sister Coco. But don't worry, all foes like Ripperoo and Dr. N and Brio are back for more fun and mischief. Crash's moves have also been enhanced and he's able to super jump, long jump, crawl, slide, body slam, run, swing, surf on a jetboard, and fly through the air with a jetpack. Crikey. And now we have Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped, which has a tiny description. It's basically saying it's an action game developed by Naughty Dog and published by Blah and released in 1998. When I was 3 years old. When was the first one released? Don't tell me, you prick. Probably 96, or when I was born, so 95. Ah, Crash Bash. It's like the Mario Party of Crash Bandicoot. It's awesome. When I did the V-Moder versus the Turtle Beach, or the Bay Dynamics and V-Moder Boom Pro blah blah blah, versus the PX22s, that's the gameplay I had in the background. It was quite fun. It's quite a big game. You just do mini games and then earn crystals or gems. I think it's just crystals to begin with, and then if you go back into that same activity, it'll be for a gem or time trial. I don't remember. Whatever. And next we have Crash Team Racing, a game that took up a lot of my childhood, and it also is probably the only no, not the only. There's a few games. A few games that my mum's actually fully completed. She 100%ed Crash Team Racing because she really enjoyed it. The other game she managed to complete was Sonic 2, I think. No, she got to the last stage but couldn't get past Metal Sonic. Which is understandable considering you have no fucking rings when you face him. Anyway, I think I'm going to stop reading the thing. I might just let it hover over it, and then you can read it if you wish. Hang on, I'll just have a look at how easily you can read it. Yeah, you can actually. Good. I'm using an upscale. I've got like a PSP upscaler, so the picture's now in 720p, which is pretty cool. I don't know why I said it like that, but whatever. Yeah, I'm just going to hover over it. I'll just say the name and then move on. Croc Legend of the Gobos. Croc 2. Crusaders of Might and Magic. I knew it. Okay, for D, we have Jackster, Deadhead Fred, Dead to Rights Reckoning, Death Jr., a Death Jr. Choo, Death Jr. 2, Root of Evil. I noticed it said it there. Def Jam, The Takeover, Fight for NY, The Takeover. Game I've 100%ed. That's a very fun game as well. Despicable Me, the game. Dynadash, Sizzle and Serve, which is kind of like Cake Mania, but instead you don't make the food, you serve tables. and shit like that. And next we've got this guy, Afternoon of Darkness, which you play as that guy there. I don't remember his name. Lou, it begins with an L. I don't remember. Fuck! That'll annoy me. This guy too. Dark Hero Days. I used to actually pronounce it Disgia. Or Disgia. That was it. And I don't know why. Because that makes no sense. Next we have Dissidia. Final Fantasy 12. It's actually the more recent version, because there was Dissidia, or Final Fantasy Dissidia, however you pronounce it, which only had a certain amount of characters, and then this one came out which has like everybody from the Final Fantasy franchise in one game, which is so fucking cool. Well, up to Final Fantasy 13, because as you saw there, Lightning was in it. And next we got Dragon Age Aria, where you play as a chick, which is incredibly surprising considering you play as the thing on you play as the person on the right, which doesn't look like a dude. Next we got Dungeon Explorer, and then we have Dungeon Maker, Hunting Ground, and Dungeon Maker 2, The Something War. I don't actually know what it is. The Hidden War? Yeah, I think. Dungeon Siege, The Throne of Agony. Dungeons and Dragons Tactics, Dynasty Warriors Strike Force, which actually has a really upbeat theme, which I really like. And then we have Dynasty Warriors. And then for PS1 we have Diablo, the original, which I played a little bit and I was like, wow, this is like a blast to the past, this is awesome. Although you only have 3 races, which is like ridiculous, but back then that was probably like revolutionary. Like, what? You don't have to play as the same character? It's like, actually no, people would probably play it and be like, holy shit, I have a completely different experience from this guy because I'm playing as a completely different race. That's badass. And in fairness, it was badass. It still is badass when you can choose a race, because then your experience is completely unique to a certain extent. Anyway, next we have Digimon World, and then we have Digimon World 2, and as a guess what the next one is, you got it, it's Digimon World 3. Oops. I'll just let that sit there for a second. There you go. And then we have Discworld, which is based on the Terry Pratchett books, and then we have a continuation from that, which is Discworld 2, Mortality Bites. And next we have Dragon Seeds, which is actually kind of strange, because as it says there, use memory card data from any PlayStation game to create combat-ready dragons, which is very similar to Monster Rancher for the PS1, because on that game, what you did was, you got... shit. What was it? Oh, it was from every... if you put a different PS1 game into the system while it was playing, it would create a monster for you from that, which is pretty cool. But I can't get it for PSP unless I want to use like a cheat system or something, because I can't put in another PS1 game. It's PSP. So yeah. Next we have Dragon Valor, and then Dragon Warrior 7, which I really wish all the other Dragon Warriors were. What on here? Sorry, I got the yawns. Next we got Echo Chrome, and then we have Echo Shift, which is a continuation. Eragon, Every Extend Extra, Exit. He actually looks different in the second game. Look at that, he's got like a little cape. Yeah, and he looks different there as well. He has a little dog. Cat. It's a cat. That's not a dog. Are you ready for a huge Final Fantasy collection? Because I sure am. Well, first off we have Fading Shadow. I'm not doing it in the voice I did last time because that hurt. Then we have Fate Extra. And then we have Final Fantasy 1, Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 3, Final Fantasy 4. And then also the After Years, because it's... the After Years is basically to wrap up 4, I think? I'm not too sure. Then we have Crisis Core, Final Fantasy 7, which I completed like yesterday or 2 days ago. God damn, the ending's fucking depressing. Especially since I've recently played and completed Final Fantasy 7. Everything makes sense, or a lot more sense, and then the end is still just really depressing. Next we have the best looking and biggest fucking game ever released on PSP. Final Fantasy Type 0, which is being re-released on PS4 in this month, in March, yeah. But this was a huge game, in many senses. It's lengthy as fuck, and on PSP it was 2 UMDs. No other game did that. Oh no, one other game did, I think, or a few games did, but it was very, very rare. And it was weird that, like, that was one of the few games that had 2 UMD discs for one game. Ridiculous. And then we have Final Fantasy Tactics: War of the Lions, which is pretty much a remaster of Final Fantasy Tactics for the PS1. Probably with a few things added in for the PSP to make it a bit more of a new experience and not just a complete remaster. Not too sure though. I haven't played the original, as bad as that sounds. I played this on the PSP and absolutely loved it. Next we have Final Fantasy V, Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy VII, brilliant, absolutely fucking brilliant. Final Fantasy VIII, again. A lot of people hate Final Fantasy VIII. Well, they don't hate it, I think they hate the people you play as, but I don't really care. And then Final Fantasy IX. Okay. And then from Final Fantasy IX it started to go to PS2, didn't it? With 10. With Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2. Next we have Gangs of London. Generation of Chaos. There you go. God of War. Chains of Olympus, which is a game I'm actually recording. It won't be seen for a few months, but it is one I'm recording. God of War Ghost of Sparta, which is a phenomenal looking game for the PSP, and of course with it being God of Sparta, it's a very good game as well. Don't know if it contains a sex scene. I know that one does because I had to record it. I didn't have to, but in order to get like more orbs, I had to do the sex. So, you know. Anyway, next we have God's Eater Burst. Basically, what I can see it as is pretty much Monster Hunter. It's very similar, but Monster Hunter it's kind of like Monster Hunter, you're going out to hunt and get materials. God's Eater Burst, or God Eater's Burst, which is what I'll probably end up calling it, is more so the fact that you're hunting things to survive. It's a fight for survival. It's humanity's last stand, basically. Next we have Gran Turismo for PSP. Grand Knight's History, which is really cool. I love the battle system for it, because it's like, the way it's set out is like, imagine it on like a world sort of thing, but it's like rounded. And like, you've got the enemies on one bit, on one like edge, and then you've got your team on another edge. It's really strange, but it works so well. And that is a Japanese game translated to English as well, which is so good because it's very fun. Next we have Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, which is pretty fun. I was really shocked when I first saw that though, so I was like, what? It's top down? It's going back to like the Game Boy, the Game Boy years. My voice, man. Next we got Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories, Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories, Grip, Shift, Back. Anyway, we've got Grip Shift, which is a really weird song to play. Then we've got Growlancer, Wayfarer of Time. Then we got Gun Showdown actually, which is basically the PSP version of the original Gun for PS2, which was a really fun game. It was also on Xbox, but I never got around to getting it. Maybe something I'll do in the future. Yeah. Anyway, we've got Grand Theft Auto, we've got Grand Theft Auto 2, Grandia, Guardians Crusade, the Game Boy Advance emulator. Speaking of which, what I'm showing off is games just for PSP. I'm not showing off Game Boy Advance ones. Fuck that. This would go on for hours. It's gonna last an hour. I'm at G, and we're 35 minutes in. Hoorah! We got the Sega Genesis emulator. And on to H we go. I think there's quite a few. Yeah, there is. I keep fucking yawning. Right, we've got Hack Link. I don't actually know how you say that one. Hakuki. Something of the Floating Blossom. Demon of the Fleeting Blossom. And then we've got Hakuki again. Warriors of the Shinsengumi. Half Minute Hero. Harry Potter, the Goblet of Fire. Maybe. Hell yeah! This is the Order of the Phoenix. Well, that is the Order of the Phoenix. No, it isn't. That's the Order of the Phoenix. That one's just Harry Potter. Alright then, alright. Next we got Harvest Moon, Hero of Leaf Valley. I'm gonna stop with the accent. Hellboy, The Science of Evil. Hexy's Force. Holy Invasion of Privacy, bad man. What did I do to deserve this? Hot Pixel, and for PS1 we've got Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which is known in America as the Sorcerer's Stone. Okay, next we got Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Harvest Moon, Back to Nature, what's this? Heart of Darkness, Herc's Adventures, and Disney's Hercules. Alright, and now on to I, which has 2 games. Innocent Life, A Futuristic Harvest Moon, and In Cold Blood. Alright. Sorry if it seems like I'm rushing. It's just the fact that I've noticed how long I've been going, and I'm not very close to finished yet. Right, next we have Jak and Daxter: The Lost Frontier, Jeanne d'Arc, I don't know how you'd pronounce that, Heroine of France, French name, Jacandia, which is apparently a rip-off of Half Minute Hero, but I don't really care if it is a rip-off. If it's fun, I'll enjoy it. Juiced Eliminator, Juice 2, Hot Import Nights, and Jersey Devil, which I still think is in relation to The Wolf Among Us, but no. Next we have Key of Heaven with a very soothing soundtrack. And then we have Killzone Liberation with a less soothing soundtrack. Kingdom of Hearts: Birth by Sleep. Nights in the Nightmare. Guide the lost soul of the king to reclaim the castle. A real-time RPG. Cartier, The World of Fate. Klonoa, Door to Phantomile, and Kudelka, which I've actually played quite a bit of. Doesn't scare me anymore. The polygons are just not that frightening. Lego Batman. Lego Harry Potter Years 1 to 4. Lego Harry Potter Years 5 to 7. Lego Indiana Jones. Lego Indiana Jones 2. Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. Hang on. Holy fuck, that feels good. Yeah, my throat is starting to like dry up. Next we've got Lego Star Wars 3, Lemmings, Little Big Planet, Loco Roco, Loco Roco 2. It has a really cool soundtrack as well. Lord of Arcana, which is apparently very similar to like how Sword of Vermilion was on the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive. So yeah, pretty interesting. Lumines, Puzzle Fusion, Lumines 2, Luna, Silver Star Harmony. Oh yeah, my childhood game. That's apparently really bad, but I enjoyed it when I was a kid. Oh, it wasn't even that one anyway. Land Before Time: The Big Water Adventure. It was that one I played a shitload when I was a kid. I liked it, but it got really bad reviews. And now that I've played it about 10 years, or maybe like 12 years later, I can understand why it got pretty poor reviews. It's very... It's not so much as a bad game, it's the fact that the control scheme is shit. It is so bad. It's really dumb. Anyway, it's Land Before Time, Return to the Great Valley. Then we got Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, where you play as Raziel, or Raziel. Legend of Legaia, Legend of Mana, Luna Silver Star Story Complete, and Luna 2 Eternal Blue. Look at all that text. Look at it! Look at it! It's so much. I know I wrote a lot for that. I didn't write them by hand, I literally went to a website where it explained a bit about them, copied, pasted, done. Job done. Manakimia, Student Alliance, Me and My Katamari, Medal of Honor Heroes, Medal of Honor Heroes 2, Medieval Resurrection, where you play as like a skeleton dude. Minis 1, which has those 4 games on it, not played them. Minis 2, which has those 4 games on it, and Minis 3, which has those 4 games on it. They're literally like, not games you play, they're literally time killers. And then we have Mega Man Maverick Hunter X, which is pretty cool. It's a remake of Mega Man 7, I think, for PSP. And it also comes with X mode, but whatever. Then we've got Mega Man Powered Up. Honestly, I played this on the bus the other day. It is actually really fun. It's got like a really cutesy art style about it. A really cool soundtrack, and then it's got a stage editor, which you can make your own stages, which is pretty cool. And it's also got like voice acting for the characters. Mega Man's voice sounds so dumb, and then pretty much everybody's voice sounds dumb, but aside from that, it is a really good game. It's really enjoyable. It's like, yeah, I think if you go against, I think it's called Cutman, and then the first thing he said is cutting it up, and it's just like, what the hell, that's so cheesy. Mercury 2-for-1 Fun Pack, Metal Gear Acid, Metal Gear Acid 2, Metal Gear Peacekeeper Walker, damn it, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. Then we got Portable Ops, Metal Slug Anthology, Metal Slug DotEXE, Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. What's this one? Mitron Wars? No, that's further down. I can't read that. Bitch. Mimana Iya Chronicle. That's probably Japanese turned English. Monster Hunter Freedom, Monster Hunter Freedom 2, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, Monster Hunter Freedom... God damn it. Monster Hunter Portable 3rd. And then Monster Kingdom Dual Summoner. Mortal Kombat Unchained. Shiren the Wanderer 3. Mystic Chronicles, Mitron Wars, Medieval 1, Medieval 2, Mega Man 8, Mega Man 9. Oh no, there is no Mega Man 9, what am I on about? Not on PS1 anyway. It's Mega Man 8, Mega Man X3, Mega Man X4, X5, X6, and then Mickey's Wild Adventure. Oh, which was actually called something else in English, and it's like a huge title. Oh no, it might not be not in English, in Europe. It might have actually been in America that had the huge title. I don't remember. Next we got Monopoly, which I've played a few times now. It's ridiculous, but it brings back memories from when I used to play this game with my cousins on the PC. This game was also released on PC, because whenever you bought a property, or when you were thinking of buying a property, it would show you like a little like animated sequence of what the property looked like. It was really cool. I actually really liked it. Even playing it like a month ago, it was still really fun. Monsters Inc. Scream Team, which in America is known as Scare Island, I think. Then we got fucking A. Mortal Kombat Trilogy and Master Boy 2.10, which is the Game Boy Color and Sega Master System emulator for the PSP. Alright, what have we got for N? We got N+. Need for Speed Carbon, Own the City. This is probably my most racing games, like in this section. Then we got Need for Speed Most Wanted 510. Need for Speed Pro Street, Need for Speed Shift, Need for Speed Undercover, Need for Speed Underground Rivals. No more. No heroes allowed. That's right. I don't like how that picture glitches out because it looks gross. We got Nightmare Creatures 2, and Nesta J. I really hope I've been keeping it on this for long enough. I mean, it pops up for like a split second. You might be able to read. If I keep thinking about it, I'll remember. We've got Obscure, The Aftermath. Ew, that picture. This is a horror game. Yeah, obviously. We've got Open Season, Outrun, 2006, Coast to Coast. Listen to that music. Ooh yeah. Over the Hedge, Hammy Goes Nuts, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, and Oddworld, Abe's Exodus, which has a shitload of text. Apparently the Abe games, or Oddworld games, are incredibly difficult because you die so easily and you can't defend yourself. It's ridiculous. I never realised it was so difficult. Next we have Pac-Man World 3, Parappa the Rapper. Oh whoa. Hell yeah! Just gotta believe! Probably the most known phrase from that bloody game. Next we got Patapon, Patapon 2, Patapon 3, Persona, Persona 2 Innocent Sin, Persona 3 Portable, Phantasy Star Portable. I had to leave it for the music. You probably won't hear the music because I'm thinking I might mute this. But we've got Phantasy Star Portable 2. Yeah, I might end up... Oh, nice. We got Pimp My Ride. I might just mute the music because then the music I have in the background will be heard a lot easier. That's Dead Man's... No, that's At World's End and Dead Man's Chest, Pirates of the Caribbean. Monsters Deluxe, Pixel Junk, or Pixel Junk Monsters Deluxe, which is a tower defense game. And it's really fun, actually. Very lengthy, too. Each world has about 20 stages, and they're not easy to get through. And then you've got, like, bonuses, or challenge maps that you can do, and there's about 20-30 of those in all. Pretty cool. Popo LaCroix, whatever. The will to protect someone important. Heartwarming adventure story of Pietro who descended from dragons. Wait, you play as like a dragon boy? Really? It's like Breath of Fire. Yes. Prince of Persia Revelations. Amazing game because it's a direct part of Warrior Within from the PS2. Only problem this game suffers is there's quite a bit of audio desync. And that's just the game itself. Even when I had it on UMD and not digital, it suffered from audio desync. It might not have been as noticeable with it being UMD, but I don't know. There's a lot of years when I last played that. Again, Prince of Persia Rival Swords is what Two Thrones was on PS2, so it's again a direct part. Prince of Persia, someone I know, one of my friends will be incredibly shocked to see that on my PSP, considering it's a football game, and I hate football. But I must admit, I really enjoyed PES when I played it. Of course, it's PES 2006, so it's incredibly outdated. It's 9 years out of date. Pursuit Force Extreme Justice. And then we've got Pursuit Force. Oh, just Pursuit Force. Next we got Puzzle Quest Challenge of the Warlords. For PS1 we have Pac-Man World. Oopsie. Parasite Eve. Parasite Eve 2. Pepsi Man, which was awesome, and Populous, the beginning. Pepsi Man's a really fun game. Very short, but very fun. And for Q we have Quake 2. There are no games that begin with Q, it's shit. I wanted to have at least like one PSP game and one PS1 game, but couldn't even get that. Next we have Rainbow Six Vegas, Ratchet & Clank Size Matters. Oh yeah it does. Rengoku, Tower of Purgatory? Yep. Rengoku, Stairway to Heaven. Oh yeah. Resistance Retribution, Ridge Racer 2, Riviera, The Promised Land, Rock Band Unplugged, which is really cool. You play as the entire band for one song, as it's showing out right now. Like, they're playing as the guitar. Hang on. I'll say again. They're playing as the guitar. Oh no, that was as the singer. Shit. That's the bass, guitar. It's pretty cool. And for PS1 we have Rainbow Six, Rainbow Six Rogue Spear, Rayman 2 The Great Escape. Anyway. Then we have Resident Evil. I know it says Director's Cut, but that was the best picture I could find. I think it is Director's Cut actually. I don't really know. Next we have Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Nemesis, and Rhapsody, a musical adventure. We're nearly there. Nearly there. This is going to take about an hour, which is about almost 3 times the time it took me the first fucking time. Next we have Samurai Warriors State of War, which is basically like Dynasty Warriors. It's pretty cool. And then we have Scarface, Money, Power, Respect, Secret Agent Clank. That's the name's Clank. Secret Agent Clank. Then we have Sega Genesis Collection, or Mega Drive Collection as it's known. This game I ripped straight from the UMD and just put it on my memory stick, because why not? Well, every game I owned UMD wise I just ripped straight away and put onto my PSP. Saved downloading it much quicker. Shadow of Destiny, Shinobido, Tales of the Ninja, which if you're a Tenchu fan, you'll enjoy this. Not as good as Tenchu, that's a given, but it's good. Stands its own ground. It's a really enjoyable game. Shrek the Third next, which in the clip they just show Shrek punching. Not played that game, don't know what it'll be like if it's made. It's generally film. Games that are made from a film are shite. But there was some Shrek films that I played on like Game Boy that were pretty good. Ugh, that's creepy. No, go away. Silent Hill, that was Silent Hill Origins, Silent Hill Shattered Memories, Silverfall, SOCOM US Navy SEALs Fireteam Bravo, SOCOM Fireteam Bravo 2, SOCOM Fireteam Bravo 3, and SOCOM Tactical Strike. Next we have Sonic Rivals, and Sonic Rivals 2, Soul Calibur Broken Destiny, Space Invaders Extreme, Spectral Souls, Resurrection of the Ethereal Empire, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man Friend or Foe, Spider-Man Web of Shadows, Splinter Cell Essentials, Split Second, SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob Truth or Square, Star Ocean First Departure, Star Ocean Second Evolution, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront Elite Squadron, Star Wars Lethal Alliance, Star Wars The Force Unleashed, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max, Super Fruitfall, Super Monkey Ball Adventure, SWAT The Element, or SWAT Liberty, I think it's known. SWAT Target Liberty, sorry. And then Siphon Filter Dark Mirror, Siphon Filter Logan Shadow. And for the PS1, we have... What the fuck? That's not the right picture. What? I must have used that by accident. My bad. I'll amend it. What? Okay, they're all jacked up. They weren't like that before. Wait, what happens if I go on Star Wars? I'm confused. Seriously, what the fuck? Whatever. We have Silent Bomber, Silent Hill, Spyro the Dragon. You can still read what it says, it's just got a jacked up background, which I have no idea why. Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage, Spyro, Year of the Dragon. There we go, it's buffed out. What about now? No, they're all jacked up, whatever. Star Ocean, The Second Story, Star Wars, Jedi Power Battles, Suikoden, and Suikoden 2. And then SNES 9X. Of course. Hang on a minute. I just want to check. I will go to T, but I just want to see if it's still jacked up. What? It's like merging them together. Hang on a minute. It would be that one. Yeah, that's what it was jacking up with someone else. Okay, wait. Yes. 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 Okay. No. Yes. I'm just seeing if it's gonna work with me, alright? That's right. That'd be correct. That is as well. Okay, there you go, it's fixed. So it wasn't the backgrounds that were jacked up, something just happened when loading. It was just like, I can't be bothered to load all these individually, so I'm going to merge them all together. And just hope to fuck it works. Anyway, we have Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together, which I believe is a remake of the SNES game. it's Tactics Ogre. I don't actually think it is. Never mind. I don't think it is. I could be wrong though. We have Tales of Eternia, Tales of Fantasia X, which is... I probably shouldn't have got because it's completely in Japanese, but maybe one day I'll try and play it and get far in it. We'll just see how that goes. Next we have Tales of the World Radiant Mythology, Tales of the World Radiant Mythology 2, Awesome Song, Tales of the World Radiant Mythology 3, Test Drive Unlimited, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Tekken 6, Tekken Dark Resurrection, Tenchu Shadow Assassins, Tenchu Time of the Assassins, The Third Birthday, which is a continuation from Parasite Eve, I believe, The Fast and Furious, Legend of Heroes 2, Prophecy of the Moonlight Witch, Legend of Heroes 3, Song of the Ocean, Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, which I've actually played a good bit of, and I actually really enjoy it. It is really fun. That's Elsa, and then Joshua. That's him. Yep. It is really cool. Lord of the Rings, Aragon's Quest, Lord of the Rings Tactics, The Simpsons game, The Sims 2, The Sims 2 Castaway, The Sims 2 Pets, The Warriors, which I watched the movie of recently, and holy shit, I was really shocked. Just how on point they got everything. And now that I've actually seen the movie, I understand who the fuck that chick is next to Swan. Yeah. It's a good movie. Not much happens in it. There's not much action, but because I was playing the game, it made me want to watch the film to see what happens. I was just like, wow, that's cool. Next we have Thrillville Off the Rails, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 10, Tony Hawk's Project 8, Tony Hawk's Underground 2 Remix, Transformers and Transformers 2. Yeah, that's what that's known as. Tron Evolution, Tales of Destiny, Tales of Fantasia, which the Japanese version's awesome. Like, in comparison to SNES, Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Advance is incredibly bad because it's super, dumbed down with everything, textures obliterated and all kinds of shit. But the SNES version was good. That's what most people recommended. But playing this one is so much better. It has 3D environments, which I don't really care about. But when you're in the world map, you can tell where places are because they're 3D. It's also got voice acting. Granted, it's in Japanese, but holy shit, it's cool. It is really cool. Next we have Tekken, Tekken 2, Tekken 3. Yep. And this is the Grand Stream Saga, The Legend of Dragoon, Theme Hospital, shit, and my bad, I don't know if you saw both of these, whatever, Theme Park, Thousand Arms, Threads of Fate, Tom and Jerry's House Trap, Tomba 2, The Evil Swine Returns, and Tonko, The Last Hope World of Dragon Warrior. It's actually known as Tonko The Last Hope World of Dragon Warrior. So it's basically saying it's Tonko from the Dragon Warrior series. From the world of Dragon Warrior. Or whatever. Anyway, we're very close to the end now. We're about an hour in. We have Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins, Unchained Blades, Undead Knights, Untold Legends Brotherhood of the Blade, and Untold Legends The Warrior's Code. There are no, and I repeat, no good PS1 games that begin with U. Unless you can find one and suggest it to me, then I will get it, and then I'll have one. Valhalla Knights 2, Valkyria Chronicles 2, Valkyrie Profile Lenneth, Beautiful Joe, Red Hot Rumble, Vagrant Story, Vandal Hearts, and Vandal Hearts 2. But one thing I will say, even if I do get more games for the PSP, it'll only be a few because I only have 5 gigs left. So I'm not going to make another one of these videos because I think an hour-long fucking video of me talking about all the damn games on my system is long enough. and people are probably bored halfway through it. I could split it into parts, but I don't know if that'd be worth it. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I might do. I'll think about it. Anyway, we've got Wally, Warhammer 40k Squad Command, Warriors Orochi. Ooh, interesting. Then we got Warriors Orochi 2. Yeah, which I initially got because of that badass stud right there with the scythe. So cool. Next we got... what did I do to deserve this, my lord? 2, which is the second game. The first game was Holy Invasion of Privacy Badman. The second game was What Did I Do to Deserve This, my lord? And the third game, believe it or not, was No Heroes Allowed. Next we have White Knight Chronicles. We have Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I don't know if that's over in America. It could be, but if not, then this is a TV game show, a UK game show, and it's pretty funny. It's not funny, it's the fact that it's got a game is funny, but it is pretty good. It's just like a quiz. Like Buzz, I guess, but not as good. Or better. No, probably not as good, but whatever. Next we have Wild Arms XF, Wipeout Pure? No, Wipeout Pulse, and then Wipeout Pure. Worms Open Warfare, Worms Open Warfare 2, WTF Work Time Fun, Warriors Might and Magic, Wild Arms, and Wild Arms 2. And the second, oh no, there's 3 sections. We have X-Men Legends 2, Rise of Apocalypse, and then X-Men Legends, X-Men Origins even, Wolverine, and then we have Xenogears. Hell yeah! Right. I'm pretty sure for Z I still only have 1 game. Right, okay. For Y we have Yggdra Union, which is awesome because it's got voice acting in it, and it's just so much better than the Game Boy Advance version. I don't know if it came out on SNES, it may have done, but I've got the PSP version now, so I need not look any further. Next we have Is 1 and 2. I can't pronounce these, so apologies if I'm butchering names. Next we have Is 7, and then we have that, the Ark of Napishtim, and then we have that, Oath of Felghana, the Oath of Felghana. And for the PS1, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. And finally, it comes down to Z, which is ZHP, Unlosing Ranger versus Dark Death Evilman. There you go. That's my complete, 100% complete victory fanfare should play, because I might actually do that. Put like the Final Fantasy victory fanfare at the end of this. Fuck yeah. Might as well. Anyway, that's the end of my collection. Hope you've enjoyed this 1 hour of torture, because it's been torture on my throat, I can say that for sure. But yeah, that's my games. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you like my collection. Any games you feel, if you want to, what am I trying to say? Any game you want to suggest, then feel free. I'll look it up, and if I like the look of it, I'll get it. But bear in mind, I only have 5 gigs, and quite a bit of that will be taken up by saving on all these goddamn games. In fairness, I'd be lucky if I take up 200 megabytes worth with all the save games. But anyway, that's the end of this. As always, I hope you've enjoyed, and until next time, take care.